And we're going to get to a second part because there was another blow, fam. And a lot of people don't understand that China showed up delivering aid to Venezuela. And people are like, what does that mean?
Delivering actual aid.
Actual aid and stuff. But here's the thing, fam. There's been a war going on. And through the trade wars. And on this show, a couple of times, we haven't praised Donald Trump, but we've said areas where he's possibly done some good. North Korea was one of them before he brought on Pompeo and Bolton. You know, they used to have Tillerson and Matthias and whatnot, and they were even a little bit against it, but he was able to get through them until Pompeo and Bolton just savaged and just destroyed the fucking North Korean deal, and now he's off talking to Russia because they just pretty much just ruined that. So now he doesn't have North Korea to stand on. One of the other things was the trade wars. Now, we didn't say we necessarily stood for the trade wars, but we understood that there was something that happened with NAFTA, and it really, the trade system was all screwed up. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of acknowledge, let's say at least Donald Trump is doing something for that. Because Donald Trump has said before, well, China imports 4-to-1 ratio of their goods to our goods that we import there. So they need us more than we need them. But you know what China did? China buckled down and said, we're not going to fucking back down from this trade war. We're going to go find other customers. So they head out to Africa, and they've been finding new customers in the African nation to sell their goods to. They went to Bolivia. They made a deal with Bolivia now. Going to sell a lot of goods there. Donald Trump slapped more tariffs on this week to China. Said, you want to do this? So China says, you know what? We're finding more customers. We're going to go to Venezuela, and we're going to bring them goods. And in return, they're going to give us oil, and we're going to help them refine it. So pretty much this is a huge blow to see China doing this. Not to mention the Bitcoin factor, fam, because this is what all this shit is about. It's about the U.S. dollar. Who's going to use the U.S. dollar? Who's going to use the Russia-China market now that they seem to be kind of merging of some sense and whatnot? And Venezuela was one of those areas. It was a proxy war. It was not only just a struggle for oil, but it was a proxy war to say, we're going to get Guaido in there and solidify the IMF, and they're going to use the U.S. dollars. With Maduro, the rightful elected leader, holding down and making sure the coup is not taking place, and the military standing behind him, that was a blow because they tried 4 times. The embassy, Kevin Zeese, all that shit going on, Medea Benjamin holding it down, that was a huge blow. And now here it comes in, ba-boom, China comes in and says, now we're going to aid them. So it looks like we're on the track for no coup. It's going to be a blow to the American dollar, but we have to reevaluate this whole situation altogether. I'm not rooting against our own interests when I say I don't want the American dollar. That's a conversation for another day. But the fact we can't go around and bullying and demanding that these countries use our dollar and we implant our government is no bueno. It causes too much chaos. It causes too much death. So this coming over here, China doing this right now, it's a huge blow, fam, to Pompeo, Bolton, and Trump and their plans.
It's also setting up a potential for allyship. We see the alliances forming. We see China standing with Russia, standing with Venezuela. And a lot of people are already vilifying that and saying, look, Venezuela is getting the Russians to help them. And they're going to, they're already making it up. They're trying to rationalize the idea that Russiagate is actually a legitimate theory.
Yeah.
And they're trying to legitimize it by saying, oh, see, look what's happening in Venezuela. See, Putin is trying to interfere in our interests, basically. They're so dumb that they don't even realize that they're making it very clear that the only reason Russia and China are even getting involved in Venezuela is because we're the bullies. And if I were Venezuela, I would seek to, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? Is that what? It's just like, okay, well, look, we got to form these alliances because now if we don't, we're going to be left alone. And so they're smart. And I would do the same thing. And it's not about our interests as much as it is about the right thing. We need to be moral. We need to have integrity. We need to stop acting like the police of the world. And rightfully so, fam, this is actually failing in Venezuela. The coup that Guaido has been pushing for and the Guaido supporters and our capitalist oligarchs here have been pushing for is failing miserably. Juan Guaido is hitting hard times, and he's begging our military and the people in the United States, his people, his CIA friends, to actually go and push and help him out because he doesn't have the support of the people. He doesn't have the support of the Bolivarian army. He doesn't have any support. He has very little support, and what you see is pretty much manufactured, and so it's failing. And so that's why this was so important in D.C. because they are trying to paint the picture. The media is not talking about this because they want you to think that Guaido is winning. They want you to think that, oh yeah, this is pretty much over. Guaido, blah, blah, blah. He's going to free Venezuela, when that's not the case.
No.
So this is why we exist, because we need to be talking about these things.